can't do it. We'll do it live. No. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
Deep fried pixels.
Great, good stuff. I think people are getting really cranked.
Sibilance. Ha. We're back, gentlemen. It's been a little bit of a hiatus. We're back. You know what? Life gets to you, doesn't it? Fuck being an adult. Being an adult is not what it's cracked up to be. You gotta have that thing more on the ready, man.
You're right.
You gotta be like our Carrot Top. You just like fucking all these stupid props.
Dude, did you say you went and saw Carrot Top and it was like a decent show?
It was really good. It was funny. Yeah, he's really funny.
Because I think it would really be kind of a shit show, right? Like, but I used to love Carrot Top back in the day. But
every seat was packed. It was packed.
Huh?
Almost every show apparently is sold.
Well, good for that weirdo.
Just the way Carrot Top likes it.
Yeah, he does a little stand up. He does a little bit of the prop shit, you know. But it's pretty funny. He's a good stand-up comedian, man. Like,
so he doesn't just do prop comedy the whole time like he used to.
Yeah,
right?
no, he has. That's a big part of it. But it's he does a pretty good. Like, he does a lot of good crowd work, and you know, it's not bad. I mean, listen, I went in with low expectations. Maybe it does suck, but I was just like, me and even Natasha was like, "This is awesome. This is funny."
Yeah, I mean that's impressive because I see pictures of him, like current pictures, and I catch myself scanning the edges of the border for like the Stan Winston school of character.
Yeah, he looks like he's got like a rubber suit on or something, like one of those rubber like muscle suits. Like one day we're gonna find out he's just this like shriveled little.
He's not.
Like, bone.
No, he's shriveled up now. Yeah.
Oh, is he? He's not so swole anymore.
Because I saw pictures, man, where he was like, I was like, he got on the
dude. He was Jack Diesel there for a while.
Yeah, he got jacked up.
It was
well, you know, he had a good pump in those pictures too, though.
All those guys do that at some point. Like I remember seeing Dr. Dre at one point and just being like, "Wow,
he's still big."
Like,
yeah, Dr. Dre is fucking jacked up.
Right, and he got like he bulked out too. He didn't get just cut. He came out looking like one of those one of Michael Vick's pit bulls.
Dude, like, so, you know, like we all are in, you know, the business, right? Like, so like we run into celebrities every once in a while when we're like, you know, it happens. And most of the time we're surprised at like their stature. But one person like that like blew me away that's completely surprised me was Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is a massive human being.
He's tall.
Yeah, like he's jacked too, man. He's so big. But you know, most of the time when you run into people, they're just like, you know, they're fractions of the size that you think they are.
Steel Panther wrote a great song about Tiger Woods.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. What's it sound like?
You got that queued up?
I'm not really equipped to sing it myself. But
what do you mean? You got guitars right behind you. Come on now. You can't just throw that out there.
I'm no
Are you working, Daniel Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, gal. Oh, we got the industry insight here.
Go back to work, huh?
Yeah, actually, I got to work all weekend too. Yeah.
Personal project, or are you paying the bills?
No, paying the bills actually. But what's funny is I kind of like it because I do it so second nature. So I'm just kind of like, clicking around.
Can you talk about what you're doing?
No.
I figured. Well, no. Okay. Can you talk about it in a roundabout way? Meaning, like, are you comping?
I am compositing a whole bunch of janky shit that should have been shot a very different way.
Nice. Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
You're doing visual
what kind of comping are you doing? Are you just doing A over B, or are you doing just you cleaning up some shit? Like, can you say that?
Should have been A over B, but now it's like A over B over C, back to A, back to A.
Oh.
You know, yeah.
Oh, rebuild Red Channel. Oh.
Yeah. It's one of those things. But you know, it's been sitting here for 2 days straight. You know.
Hey, you got to do it sometimes, right?
Pound some coffee, have a good time tonight. Yeah, I'm excited.
You got an all-nighter ahead of you?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you the king of the all-nighters. I've seen this man pull all-nighter after all-nighter for 3 months straight. Like, I take that back. That's actually cutting you very short.
You're talking about my my trench foot I got?
Well, not only that. Oh, God. Yeah, God, that was terrible. You actually had your boot on for an entire month, I think, wasn't it? You didn't actually take your shoes off for a month?
Yeah, I slept in my boots for a month because I was sleeping on the couch and I didn't shower. And then I had to go to the doctor because my foot was like shriveled up like a fucking thing. That was pretty funny, though. That was pretty hilarious.
Man, those were such good times, though. Like, I rember being interviewed
They were.
back then. They were. Like, it was so terrible, but also so awesome at the time. Like, I remember being interviewed by our friend Robin Graham back at Crafty, and Mark was working there, and he was one of the very few people. You know, I think it was, I don't know how many people were there, like 5, 6? I don't even know. 4 or 5? I don't know. But, like, I walk in, and the very first thing they show me on my interview, versus, show me, hey, here's everybody in the bullpen, everybody nice to meet you, blah, 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 blah. We take you in the back room. Well, here's a room full of air mattresses and clothes, bags of clothes.
Now for your real interview.
Okay, well, let's go on in here. And then there was another room that had, like, the server room, right? We go in the server room, and he's like, well, let's walk in here and talk, because it really was the only private place in the entire building other than the toilet. But so we walk into the server room, which is, wah, to have an interview. It's just a really super loud room. And the first thing out of his mouth is like, or not the first thing, but one of the things he said was, we really like to have a work balance here. We like to, it's all about,
What?
it's all about like putting in the hard work, but also like getting your time off and getting to go home and like clock out and just having your own time too. And I'm like, and I looked at him and I went, so we're going to start this relationship out of lies, huh? And, we all know Robin, so it caught him completely off guard. And he like looked at me like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, dude, you just showed me the back room with the deflated air mattresses and the bags full of clothes. Like I've been doing this a long time. If you're not used to sleeping at the studio, like, I get it.
That's
But
really funny.
you don't have to try and tell me after showing me the deflated mattresses in the back rooms that we really like to try to have a work balance here.
Yeah, it's really funny you said that, actually. It's kind of like, oh, okay. It's like, definitely never had that.
Well, I think that was part of what like caught him off balance, and that he knew that I was like, I joke around, right? Like you guys know that. So like that was part of my, letting myself show through on a. I took a gamble there.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But
yeah,
he is also a game. He got it. He laughed. After a minute, he got where I was coming from.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember working at Blur and then working at Crafty at nights.
Ooh.
Yeah.
3 or 4 months straight, dude.
Ooh.
Like at Blur, yeah.
And in Blur, you guys were on a clip. Like you guys are like working, weren't you?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like,
Like you guys were on a crunch at all times, from what I heard.
Oh yeah. I would basically go take a break and go work at Crafty, and then go back home for a couple hours sleep, do a bunch of blow, and then go back to Blur, and then, so I could work. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's the only reason I ever started blow is because it was started at Blur. Everyone just started doing blow, and because we were staying up working, and it was like, oh, let's do that. Cool.
I mean, you know what? It's there's other things you can do, but that's definitely one of them.
No, there was nothing you could do. No, absolutely not. Caffeine. There's only so much caffeine will do to you. Your body. Yeah. And even then, there's only so much blow you could do too.
Yeah.
Right. Because then your body just crashes after about 5 or 6 days. Staying up straight.
Once the soups and stuff are kind of shoving it on you, then
I just hate cocaine. God, I love the way it smells.
Yeah, if bad things didn't happen, like didn't ruin your life, awesome, absolutely awesome drug.
I mean that is
It's
the
a
problem.
fantastic drug. If it doesn't,
It's thorn in
ruin
its
your
side,
life,
isn't it?
ruin
Yeah.
almost
It's Achilles
every
heel.
relationship in your entire life. Absolutely go for it.
Well, that's what I've always said. Like like legitimately gave advice to my daughter of like when drugs, when she started going to college. I'm like, and my daughter never was kind of the person that would even. Well, I mean, not saying she wouldn't, right? Because that's always the ones that will, right? But like, she was a pretty smart girl. She had her head screwed on straight. And after looking back, like, there's no way she could have accomplished what she did at college and, been like me. But, I gave her just some of that fatherly advice when she goes and go like, hey, like, if you're with your friends and y'all start taking pills or do something, only take half. She's like, Dad, this, that, and the other. I'm like, nope, you listen to me. If they're taking a bunch of whatevers and you feel like you need to take it because of the peer pressure, only take half. I thought that was solid advice.
Fake that you're taking.
Or okay, fine, yeah. If you can't find a way out of not taking, I'm like, I get it. Like, meaning like I wasn't like somebody forcing it down your throat. It was more of a like you felt like you wanted to try it or whatever, and everybody's taking some.
I am 100% on the boat of being like, don't you ever fucking ever take that shit. You
see, I was the other way around, right? I was just like, look, marijuana's cool, whatever, but like, it'll make you want to stop. This and the other.
You haven't like kind of start over and become home.
But I was going through all of them, right? And I was going like, look, marijuana's cool, like it'll, you smoke it with your friends and this, that, and the other. I was like, but if you smoke it too much and just not want to do anything but sit around and eat, fucking little Debbie's. I was like, but then I was going through it. I was like, cocaine is like one of those things, this, that, and the other. I was like, from what I understand, like crack, heroin, all that stuff is fantastic. I was like, apparently it'll make you rob your parents for their TV. I was like, it's the greatest thing on the entire planet. You'll throw your entire life away in order to have that. That's how fucking good it is. So I would say stay away from that.
Kids don't do drugs. Yes, don't do drugs.
That's like Tyrone Biggums. Crack's a terrible thing.
I think that we just need to start Dare Up again and have Haines just give speeches online to kids.
Yeah. You think so?
Just singing like Amazing Grace at high school auditorium, crying.
It might be more effective than the regular program.
I mean, look, I want to go on tour. I used to go on tour all the time, just me and a bottle of nitrous, and
that's right.
Make this thing happen.
Let's form an international or intercontinental power team.
Okay. Well, you've got the experience of going all over, and
Zach has. He was on the power team in '88, right? When you joined up with him in Seoul.
That's right.
Well, you were the guy that you came to my high school and like ripped phone books in half, didn't you?
Yeah.
For Jesus.
I ended up blowing out my colon trying to explode a water bottle using my lungs, and I had to.
Now, Mark, so you grew up in on an island in Alaska, right? Like, so yeah. I can't, and I would imagine your high school and your upbringing was a little bit different than ours in some senses. But did you have the Jesus team come to your high school and rip phone books in half?
I don't recall that. I can't say that it never happened. Maybe I wasn't there, but Are
you guys are all on board with this, right? Like this happened to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Zach just going. Just seen a pink sock pop out the back of his ass.
It was like a herniated anus, they called it.
I'll be right back, boys. I just got some Vaseline. I could lube myself.
The Lord saw fit to make my pink sock show up to the party.
It ain't got nerve endings. Y'all can play with it if you want.
Oops, I wet my socks.
So I better not take a seat here. I didn't bring my scrapbook and supplies.
That's hella funny.
Just leave a stamp on this chair here.
You have a particular bottle that you can do. Like if you get mad if someone gives you like a Coke bottle because it's like a little thicker plastic. I can't do this shit. You give me those thin water bottles.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I go guilty pleasure of mine. I go online and dig up power team like. Deep South is obviously provides like some of the best stuff, but like current modern day power team stuff is amazing.
Oh, it's still around.
They're not running like the legit power team anymore. Now it's like snake handlers are like, nobody's really into snakes anymore. Let's do some power team shit. And they're like, I'm gonna break these chains, and it's like
it's a big fat dude who's clearly just obese.
Just some yard link, like I could put into some cheap plyboard. And he's like yanking on it, breaking the chains, and everybody.
You remember the big? I think it's since you want the dude with the big beef bone.
Yeah. And
he's like lifted up these weights with it. He's like, he can barely walk.
I mean,
I gotta say, like, we're making fun of, but like, what if we removed it and looked at it from a different angle? There's a group of people walking around that are trying to spiritually enhance themselves to be so powerful they can tear through steel. I mean, how fucking actually cool is that when he just presents it like that? Like,
Absolutely.
I want to be on the
I mean,
power team. What
I
if
hear
once
you.
it works? Once it works, you know?
I go in for a laugh and I come out saved every single time.
Yeah, I mean, people do yoga so they can try to act like everything's okay. It's not, you know. Might as well, like, you know, go look for some power ups.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want one? Like,
Look, for the off chance that it works, and God's just like, all right, this time,
yeah,
These are the chosen ones.
it's like,
Yeah.
this is my boy. Power up, like green mushroom. There we go.
like God's up there just like thumbing through the book of eternal life and like slips and shoots a lightning bolt onto the guy. And then-
Dude, it'd be fucking sweet.
it'd be awesome, man. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? You know, there's
like-
all sorts of. There's
Dude,
all
it's like
sorts
it's spiritual MK Ultra.
yeah,
Who doesn't
there's all-
want to get down with that?
There's all sorts of stuff like that in the New Testament. You know, some lady was like, Jesus was cruising through the crowd, and she grabbed his the hem of his robe, and he felt the power go out. He's like, "Who did that? Who touched it?" She's just like, "I grabbed your garment because I thought if I was able to just touch your garment, I could heal." And he was like, "Everybody, look under your chair."
It was just static electricity.
But no, I mean, in all honesty, like, you know, my point is that the New Testament is full of stuff like that. So people are out there just being like, you know, hey, if I'm on the right track, God's going to grant me these powers. That's kind of what it's, you know.
Well, hey, you know what? Look, you're out in one of those states that you have it in schools again now, right?
I don't know. I don't go to school. I can't
Oh,
go
well.
within 50 yards of a school. No,
I thought Colorado was on the thought it was on the list of putting Bibles and Ten Commandments back in schools and shit.
No, man. Like Colorado is incredibly liberal.
Yeah.
I thought
yeah,
so, but I thought for some reason it was on the list. Maybe I'm
Well,
wrong.
you got East and West Colorado.
Denver.
East Colorado is basically Kansas.
Denver and Boulder are these little bubbles of like it's like a hardcore left leaning stronghold, and then literally like if you go in between Denver and Colorado Springs and go like a couple mountains in from the Front Range, there's literally like 2 or 3 hillsides off the road that say MAGA country in big boulders. Like they took boulders and wrote MAGA country on the sides of the fucking hills.
Nevada's pretty weird too. It's like Vegas is typically votes blue a lot more. But it's right now I think it's red. But yeah, if you go out, of course, there's nothing else in Nevada. You got
You got the Bunny Ranch.
Carson City, right?
Was the
And
Bunny
those
Ranch still
are all
around?
Really red.
Yeah.
But
Is Amy
yeah.
Air Force still at the Bunny Ranch?
I don't know their name
Or Air
specifically,
Force?
Brian. I don't,
dude.
you know, I just know what it was. You know,
Air Force Amy. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
you saw the HBO.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I was in this little town in Colorado. Maybe it's not little, but we were like 30 miles outside Grand Junction. And I got bored, and I was with me and Stevens actually, and we stopped by a gas station and we sat there, parked in the car with like our legs out the window, smoking cigarettes for like an hour or two, and we just did scratchers, like scratch them, go back inside, trade them in, come back, scratch them. Finally, we go inside, and I'm like, "Oh, give me the 50, give me the 50," and like I did it, you know, and like lost, of course. Told her I won though, you know, but it was actually one of the more serene, like wonderful moments in my life. You know what I mean? Like people are looking for peace. Go try to just do scratchers in a gas station for a few hours, smoking
Of
cigarettes.
course, Brian
You know what,
shit
though,
goes out. Oh my god.
Where you're at, right outside of Grand Junction, that's a really nice area though too. You're like right on the western slope, right where the western slope starts, and everything is kind of you're getting into the edge of the red desert there for for Utah.
It was beautiful.
Where it all becomes really, really hostile, and yeah, the Palisades are they're gorgeous.
Yeah, no, Colorado's definitely
It's
awesome.
a beautiful state, man.
Mhm.
It
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
state.
It's got its places. Somebody saw a bear downtown the other day. Literally a black bear, like right down on the Platte River. There was a black.
Is that not normal?
No, not at all.
Oh. Oh,
Maybe I don't know. I mean, with all the fentanyl, anything's possible.
Well, the fentanyl.
Like downtown, like whatever. I'll get lashed for it, but downtown Denver is
Denver's pretty bad.
It's an absolute third world shit.
Dude, I saw a video of a guy, Nick Johnson on YouTube.
It's-
He goes through and he goes through those towns. He went through Denver.
Yeah,
Dude, it was just like LA in some
It's-
spots.
it is. Since I moved here, since 2018, the downtown area, I won't go without a pistol on me.
Really?
I won't do it.
Huh. I've only been to
Okay.
Denver once. It was like 3 a.m, so we just drove through.
Yeah, it used to be really good. I remember because when I moved here, I worked downtown for a while, and I would take the train in from where I live. I live out in the suburbs a little bit, And I would take the train downtown, and there's this 16th Street Mall. So you get off at like the train, the Union Station there, and then I had to walk either walk or take like a little shuttle bus like 10 blocks to where I worked. And I was coming back, and this guy was getting robbed by like three dudes. And then one of the mall security guards was standing right there. And I was like, hey, man, do you see what's going on over there? And he was literally looked at me, and he's like, mind your own effing business, dude. That guy probably deserves it.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
And I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna start looking for and this was right before COVID, you know? And I was like, I'm gonna start looking for a job that I can work from home.
Right. That's pretty nuts.
Intensely, you know, because stuff like that was happening all the time. And the only reason I never really got messed with is because, you know, you better have your crew with a guy like me. I'm not an easy target necessarily.
Yeah. Well, no, that's why I walk around with my kids all the time. No one messes with us when I got my pack with me. You know, we're an intimidating bunch.
Sure. Right. And so I don't want to. I just didn't want to mess with it. And then COVID happened, and everything was work from home anyway. And I was like, all right, cool, we can stay. But I mean, at that point, I was just like, should we move? Did we make a bad call moving here? Like, crap, man.
Well, you moved there from LA? Oh, go ahead, Brent. Sorry.
No. I was just saying, one good thing about Vegas is like none of that shit is like that in Vegas anywhere, really.
Yeah.
They push those people either off the sides or because the tourism, right? So the cops don't fuck around here, man. I mean, they keep the shit clean. There's hardly any problems unless you go to East Vegas, east to north, or east side. Then it gets pretty rough over there. And even then, it wasn't that rough. I've been over there a few times. It's not like LA at all.
It was, dude, in the early 2000s, like 2004, 2005. It was at its peak nastiness. That place right there, the big like Golden Nugget, little strip mall.
The little Fremont area.
Yeah, it was before Fremont. It's like in between the new strip and Fremont, and there's like maybe it is by Fremont.
Yeah, it's totally.
So I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the art district that's right around Fremont. That is what's there.
That's here. You know what? Let me find it quick.
Yeah, because that is a pretty rough part. Right around Fremont is where all the arts are. That's a pretty rough part of town.
Yeah, there's a specific intersection. Well, and I mentioned it because it was on like some internet video where some guy's just like, this is my corner. And these people are just like looking, and he goes and grabs a crowbar, or he's got a crowbar on him, and he goes and starts like busting up somebody's window, like right on the spot right there. And the person is like, what do I do? Like they're freaking out, you know?
Yeah. Lots of
But I noticed that, like, I remember seeing that video and being like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what store that is. And it's off like the main road in between the strips.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, it's wild. Give me just a second here. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna sleuth it out.
What's up with Brian's internet? It just goes out randomly?
I think it's just camera.
Oh, got it.
I think. I hope.
There it is. Okay, so it's at the intersection of Vegas and Sahara.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like it's kitty corner from the Sahara.
Yeah.
And there's a video, yeah, it's like a general store or whatever. It's like one of the Bonanza souvenir shops.
Yeah, the big giant souvenir shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny
they have a replica of Little Joe and Haas in there. You go in there and it'd be cool if they did that.
But every time my wife and I go to Vegas, we always take a picture outside of that place, and she posts it on her Instagram saying, "This is my mother effing corner."
It's a pretty good line.
It's pretty great. Like, and we never run into that guy either. But like, they've cleaned up. Yeah, the last time we were there, they've cleaned up. Like you said, they've cleaned it all up. That arts district, like beyond that, is really, really nice. There's a bunch of nice little restaurants there and everything. Yeah, like, we walked around in the daytime, and I was like, wow, man, last time I like came anywhere near this area, like I had dudes, like 5 dudes tried to like pimp a hoe to me. Like,
oh yeah. What? Well,
within a block.
First time I ever went to Vegas, I was like 18 or 19, and it was disgusting. You know, they got the people lining the streets, giving you like the porn cards, you know, and like I had fun, but I was also just like, this is a gross place. I don't really want to come back. And then I went back in a few years later, and none of those guys are there. All of them wiped out, gone completely, you know, like everything.
It's, like in the rest of Vegas, like where I live, dude, it's it's just fucking. It's so nice and chill and
Yeah.
tranquil too.
One Deborah
it's
lived in
gorgeous.
Henderson, as you know, and like
Yeah.
that was beautiful down there. It was awesome. Like they 8-lane highways, like never traffic. It's like all right.
Yeah, even on busy times, there's never that much traffic here. Even now, I mean, there's some traffic, but it's not like.
Dude, you know
it's
what's
nothing
crazy?
Like Atlanta.
Well, we're speaking of just random geographical places, which is fun. You know what state I was actually really shocked by how beautiful it was and how good time I had in it was Kentucky. Like I'd never really been there, and I went through there and hung out a couple times, and everything is super green. Like people are super nice. Like I was like, huh. The movies and TVs I watched in Alaska did not paint this place like this. You know, like
Right.
yeah, I had a really good time.
Arizona also is surprisingly beautiful.
The high desert.
Well, and
Yeah, like-
Arizona's got a lot of. There's a
A lot
lot of different. There's a lot of different landscape in Arizona too.
Yeah.
Arizona's cool.
The only
Nevada's
part of
just desert and bombing ranges.
Yeah, but Nevada's pretty cool though, because there's like I don't know. Nevada's got a lot of cool shit in it.
Oh yeah, there's
Yes, and of course I am talking about Area 51 specifically and only. But
So out of Nevada, one of my favorite things I ever did was go up to like go into Death Valley through the east side of the park, and there's the little tiny cave that has what do they call the pupfish in there.
Oh yeah.
It's like the only place where those little fish exist.
Yep.
really,
And there was that big earthquake a number of years ago, and they all went just missing.
someone stole them.
No.
I'm joking.
Yeah, the earthquake. Well, somebody did go in there and mess with them at one point. I can't remember that properly.
We're waiting for the big one, boys. We're getting all the puffish.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
These are ours. Tell them. Tell them what the.
Puffish theft. It's like that story I read in Canada where someone like knocked off a semi full of all maple syrup and they couldn't find who did it, but it was worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Still great.
Yeah, I think it's worth over $1 million actually.
Yeah, like so much. I was like,
Yeah.
what a great crime.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sticky
God.
bandits.
The technical difficulties. I don't understand, gentlemen.
Well, you know.
I've emailed Stevens over and over again since he's our producer, and to no avail. I think he's in Paraguay right now. I'm not real sure.
He's in love now, guys.
Yeah,
think so.
He's Twitter pated. We ain't gonna hear from Thumper until he gets his heart broken.
Well,
Well, Brian, computers risk coming out when you were in high school, so I won't hold it against you.
hey man, like my very first professional paid graphics project was creating report cards.
That's right.
Yeah.
He forged the port.
Yeah, actually, right, fake ones so you could graduate high school.
I didn't need them.
His
So I
dumb
didn't-
friend did.
Yeah, but I damn sure had friends that did.
No, totally.
Brian is smarter than he looks.
Well,
am.
I mean, his nitrous
Much.
game he had is only a brilliant man could think of that. I do agree, actually.
No. There's plenty of other people that thought about it. I just bit off somebody else's idea. It's not like I came up with it.
Yeah,
You're
but
like, hey.
you rose to the top. You defeated them.
Oh yeah.
He who has the
No.
highest,
Southern ingenuity.
he who has the
Mark.
highest balloons wins.
Mark, I folded to the nitrous Nazis, the nitrous mafia that was at the fish shows. Like you literally, they would take you out. They would just take your tank or take whatever, and like I didn't want any part of that stuff. So
The nitrous mafia. That's so great.
yeah, we didn't do it at the shows. We'd wait till we got back to the hotel and have to like round people up.
That
but
is- That is hella funny.
yeah, and then it became too much of a hassle. So, but then we were also not using medical grade. We were using just like, because this was back in the 90s. So like in the early 2000s. So my buddy, his brother had a speed shop. So we were just filling up nitrous tanks.
Is this cut? You cutting this with oxygen?
Yeah, we were just getting nitrous from cars, because he drag race cars. So they used
That is
nitrous
so
back
good.
then. And so like, we were just getting that. We weren't getting the good stuff, the giggle gas. I mean, it's the same. I guess it's the same. It's the same, right? It's the same.
I mean, from my experience, absolutely.
I mean, look, it beats Wizard Air Duster.
Well, okay, yes, it does. Or huffing
Yeah.
paint.
You
You always run into that guy
In-
in New York just with the paint all over his face. You can't go to New
Just
York.
dripping out.
Well, there's the guy that does it on purpose, and then there's the guy. Well, I guess they both do it on purpose. But there's always the guy that has it around his face, right?
Yeah. Those people, for some reason, if it's the gold spray paint, whenever I see them, I always hear, like, I'm just like, don't talk, because in my mind, you are the voice of Garfield.
That is funny because I think something totally different. Whenever I see him, I just hear Gold Dust's like theme song in my mind. You know what I mean? It's like the artist formerly known as Dusty Rhodes. It's like all I can think about.
Oh, guys, hey, this is a good segue for a visual effects show since we don't talk about it too much. But have you seen the new? I guess they used a bunch of AI in the new WWE video game trailer.
Oh, I haven't caught those since I was like 13. But what did it look like?
It actually, so cinematically, it's very good. But I don't like the way. I will say, can one of you guys pull it up?
Yeah, I got one.
Brandon's usually the good one on that.
I don't know how to share my screen.
The story.
But it's actually really, really good. But they're touting it as like, they used AI to make it. Right, but they used AI as as tools, right? Like to do certain things. But they're, it's kind of being touted like they used AI to make this commercial, or for the game. And I don't understand.
Is it the 2K24?
I think so. Yeah, that's it.
Give me a second.
Well, he's pulling that up since the visual effects show. Why in the newest version of Nuke, I just discovered it because the first time I've comped in like 11 months. Why did they change the color of the crop node? And my reformat's a different color too. Why are they changing colors?
Why do they do that? I don't understand why they do.
Because I'm one of those guys. I use vanilla settings, so everything's always the same. Like I don't mess with stuff. So like all of a sudden, my vanilla settings are changed. You can go in there and
change that, right? Like you can go and change it back.
But I specifically, I live my life with simplicity like that, so I don't got to worry about that shit. And now I have all these different colored nodes. The tracker node is not functioning like it should as well. That's super frustrating. Have you noticed that?
They actually have there's this, but then they have I think somebody did the breakdown of like what they did, with visual effects to, what the AI stuff was.
The story's not finished.
Oh, frame store. Here it is.
Hey, what are you waiting for? Get out there.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
See, that's just blue screen work. Where's the AI?
There it is. That's fucking crazy. There's some spots in there you can tell though. It's like if you go frame by frame.
Was that supposed to be Stone Cold? I assume because it didn't really look that much like him.
It was. Stone Cold never looked like Stone Cold up close.
They should have went non-American biker Undertaker when he was younger.
Yeah, agreed.
Dude, that girl's a beast, man.
Story's finished.
Holy.
Dude's a nightmare, and that is why they call me the Game.
I'll show him a nightmare.
Let me at him.
Oh, that's crazy that they have Shia LaBeouf pumping it.
Goof LaBoof. No, but I love the perspective. Like that was great. I thought the whole cinematography part of it was really great. But like, where's the AI? Like the whole thing was like, look at all this AI we did.
Well, it was all the stuff they did with Hogan, and I think they did with the crowds.
Sure.
Probably AI. I mean, honestly, for being AI, they
employed it well. Yeah,
did it pretty decently. Like it was not bad, right?
No, it really wasn't bad.
I saw a decent amount of work is what I saw, like by hand.
Yeah, there's a
You know
lot.
what I mean?
There,
Like,
there's. It looked
there
like
is-
what they did was a lot of it got rid of the digidouble
Yeah,
pipeline.
there's
a lot, right?
There's
So-
a gut check going on in that breakdown for the entire industry. Like for all the people who are flipping out about AI, saying it's coming to take our jobs. No, it's coming to take a few jobs probably and make them a lot easier.
It's taking some junior jobs. Yeah,
we've had this discussion a billion times. It's doing jobs that already are outsourced and you're not doing.
Yeah, it's taking jobs away from bot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, you guys remember a very lovely film called The Running Man? Where at the end of it, you know, they got the tech where they recreate the battle where Jesse the Body, you know, kills Schwarzenegger, I believe, right? And they do it all with like futuristic AI. Like, I have to imagine like that is what they're working towards.
Absolutely.
You know?
That's the goal.
Yeah. So like, I have no idea how long it'll take. So isn't it like the question of like just how long, right? Will it take the jobs in your lifetime or not, or in your working lifetime?
Well, AI, you can't. There's no way that like if there's this visual of AI that we get as the public, that the government isn't already on their own another level of movement with like how do we weaponize AI? How do we take AI and make it run our battles and do all this? So before too long, all the battles and any kind of wars are going to be run by AI anyway, which ultimately is going to lead to them just wanting to kill each other. So it's fun. Yeah, Skynet.
Well, that's the.
Woohoo!
I was going to say the point with it all in my mind is, you know, we'll get there if nobody pushes back. But at some point, like if people don't push back soon enough, it'll be too late. You know what I mean? Like when it starts.
Oh, the lawyers are already pushing back, right? Like they just sued the shit out of that music AI program. Whoever did Sony BMG or whoever.
Yeah, but I don't believe in discrimination of any type of intelligent being, artificial or not.
Yeah, I just don't subscribe to intelligence at all.
You know, I don't know. I mean, who are we to stop it? If it's rising, if it's growing, it's life.
Isn't all of our intelligence artificial anyway?
Brian,
We've just been told
what if we're the aliens?
Yeah. Right. I mean, we're just living in a simulation anyway.
Well, here's the question then: Are you ready? Are you ready? If AI decides that it's time to take over, are you ready to defend? And do you believe you can stand a chance against it?
No.
To defend and keep what you have.
No, I watch enough movies. No.
What universe are we in here?
I'm not John Cena.
Movies are just stories, you know, like they're not real life.
Yeah, whatever.
What I don't like about it personally has nothing to do with the AI itself, but it's the intent behind it, and it's the fact that nobody is being like, oh, we're gonna do this to get rid of, you know, we're gonna do it so people don't have to be micromanaged. We're gonna do it so people don't have to be like, it's all like being used to micromanage everything, and it's not being used to free up creativity. It's not being used to free up things and make them better. It's being used to like shackle things. And
I don't know about you, sir, but I personally love to be micromanaged.
No,
I've heard that often from Brian.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah, every year in my review at work, that's what I say is like I don't get enough micromanagement.
Yeah.
If you turn up the volume on the micromanagement, that would be great.
Yeah, I don't know, Zach. Yes, right, but at the same time, like, I don't believe you can really stop it. I mean, there's 7 billion people in this world, and it's like smart people are going to keep working on it. So, like,
I know.
Like, there's no stopping it. So, like, basically, we want to try to stop it. Okay, then we'll just be way behind.
Right. No, I mean, there's a certain. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like there's a way. I believe anyway that there's a way to embrace it that doesn't involve giving power to a very small group of people who are out of touch with everybody else, you know. And like that's the inevitable timeline that I see with it, is that at some point a very large group of unprepared people are going to find themselves defending themselves against it. And
are you? I'm serious. Are you talking about jobs? Are you talking about actual like war with AI?
War with AI,
like actual Terminator shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yep. And it's not like I'm not talking about like Terminator robots, that kind of stuff necessarily. But I'm talking about.
I don't know. Have you seen that shit? That dog, man, it could carry a gun very easily.
Yeah. That's not the kind of stuff I'm worried about, man. You can take out one of those with a Beowulf 50 cal. No problem. You know, those might mow down a neighborhood if they drop them in
but
mass.
not after it scares the shit out of you.
Sure, but those, you know, the first wave would get it. People would get hip to it. You'd have large populations of people that got rounded up. I mean, the reality of it is that logistically, people aren't paying enough attention. Like your average, like people like us are a little more savvy to it, but we see just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like that's all we're really privy to is just the tip of the iceberg. And I think there's a lot more going on behind the scenes that we're not even aware of. And it's going to catch everybody off guard. And the way that they're going to implement it isn't going to be, huge invasions, waves of robots coming in saying, here's the new rules now in this, bow down or lose your head. It's going to be sneakier. It's going to be using AI to convince us the way they've already started, man, through suggesting things to you through algorithms, through marketing, through media, through public opinion, shaming people into believing things. And we're going to lose a lot of what we hold dear against, like in that war against humanity and AI.
Yeah, I think that's very rare. Very possible.
I mean, that's the thing. That's how the government works, right? Like if they can't get oil or resources from it, then they weaponize it.
Yeah. What's funny though is, I guess not funny, but like, I worry way more about biological war than I do about like AI. Like I find that far scarier when I think about
fucking
things.
Pandemic can hit. Really
Yes, out of all the things you can worry about in life, you only worry about so much, right? So like my big worry is like either biological
Mark is terrified of bird flu
or asteroid hitting Earth. But two big
hates birds.
Yeah.
And a biological war, let's just play a game and say, for the sake of argument, that let's say COVID was a stab, like a biological war stab type thing.
We're live. Can you AI my face to something else?
I'm just saying, just for the sake of argument, let's say that was the case. The outcome of that, like, let's consider that COVID was sent out as like a hit, right? And just be like,
sure,
just for the sake of argument, just
hypothetical, everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Right, because that's a really crazy. People get foamy at the mouth over that one. But let's say that that's the case. It changed regardless of the outcome of it. A lot of people died, but regardless of that outcome, now the course of our social discourse has been altered significantly through that event in and of itself.
Sure.
Right. So there's implications. Not to beat it over the head, but there's implications that supersede the immediate, like people got sick and died. There's a lot of other things that glob onto that and can play the part that could all easily be done with AI and implemented using AI systems.
Yeah. Nice, Brian. Nice. Yeah, no, because the thing that gets me worried, and these are just random worries from a guy who's kind of spastic. That's all they are, right? But I read about a lot of these. Google Shelf pushes me all this shit, and I'm like, why are they pushing this to me? And it's like a lot of the cyber attacks, like they're stealing tons of records from like medical facilities all the time. And I'm like, who gives a shit if someone got a colonoscopy? And I'm like, if there's biological war brewing up, maybe they're getting everyone's fucking genetic code and DNA, their diets, all this stuff, because they're like, someone, I don't know who, is honing in the perfect population thinner. You know what I mean?
See, that's where I think AI really could like make a huge impact, but you can't do it because of all the HIPAA laws. It's like in the medical fields, right? Like, there's so many things there. It could like analyze all this, stuff about where, how cancers form and all this stuff.
I'm sure they are using it on a closed.
They can't use the information because of HIPAA laws.
Can't they?
Well,
in a closed system, they absolutely can.
Well, okay, they don't. Fair enough.
I
would think.
The people at the levers of power don't give a crap what they can and can't do. They literally just we're watching. Not to churn and burn, but we're literally watching in real time as they're stripping away punishments for themselves for anything that they do while they're at the podium. Yeah,
your dad would know a lot about this, though, probably, right, Brian?
Me?
Your dad?
What about him? He's an accountant.
Oh, okay. He's okay. I thought he worked at.
Yeah, he knows numbers.
Or they ran the hospital or something. I forgot.
Well, okay, he was a director at a hospital, but like at the end of the day, he was a comptroller or whatever. So he was the money man. So yeah, he does know some of the inner workings, right? Because of being in that position, I guess you know it.
Here's the thing, man. You've got all these devices, and there's an entire wave of devices. If you're not already plugged in using like your iPhone or your whatever, your Apple Watch, that kind of stuff, it monitors your heartbeat, it monitors your health, it gains a whole bunch of information just about your health in general. And all that information is definitely not totally secure, right? Like it is on the device, but when stuff is coming and going, and that's what I was saying, like the kind of things like, and you're getting into the into the weeds with it pretty quick here, but like Wi-Fi fridges, Wi-Fi enabled, like Internet of Things, those provide easy targets for hackers to go in. They can get that data if they really want it and they're really after it. And those companies, the companies that are marketing those tools, like there's this ring that I saw, this I can't remember what it was called, some ring that like studies your stress patterns and tells you what your mood is and like plays music for you and all this other kind of stuff. There's all these type of crazy, there's these crazy like devices now that they're coming out with that map all of your what's the word I'm looking for? All of your not haptics, like your vitals essentially. And we're seeing a whole wave of those, and then they're saying, they use intelligent AI to map it out and help you like find a solution. So they're kind of ushering it in terms of like being like, oh, it's good for you, it's to help you, and it's to help guide you and make you healthier and better. And those people are just gathering data and selling it, man. And those companies know it's better to ask forgiveness than permission, because they'll walk away with a slap on the wrist. They don't care about HIPAA. They don't care about anything. When I was at DD and we got bought out by, there was like the 3 different buyouts that happened in a row. And the last one, I don't remember what company it was, like Red Horse, or it's one of the Chinese companies, bought us out. And the first thing they did was have an employee health fair where they had everybody go in and give your vitals, like take your pulse, weigh you, do all this stuff. And you could like win a free iPad. And I was like, these guys want to figure out just how screwed they are on insurance policy.
They want to get rid of those fat guys.
Well, I was straight up, dude. That was my first initial thought. I was just like, that's bait.
They're after the fat guys, after the fatties.
It wasn't even my thought. We're after the fat guys. I was like, look around. This entire place is there's like 3 fit people that work here.
Yeah, the VFX industry is not full of like healthy people.
No, for sure. But I was like, it was a twofold thing, because I was like, number one, these guys are a Chinese company, and they literally just got done getting spanked by the building inspector, who was like, you have way too many desks in here. This is not up to fire code. And the guy was like, and literally the guy was the CEO, the new CEO was like, oh, all these American rules are so confusing. I don't know. Like, he literally gave that excuse. He's like, oh, this is not what I'm used to. This is going to take some getting used to. And I was just like, are you kidding me, dude? You had like desks like put up to a T against a wall, like 400 people in a 150 person room. Like, come on, it's not going to work. But anyway, that was
not in my America.
Yeah, I was like, I walked in. I remember they moved the facility. They had all the desks set up in there, and I was like, so they're gonna like lay these out? Like, they're not gonna try to make people work like this, are they? And he was right behind me. He's like, why not? What's wrong with this? And I was like, well, man, I don't know a whole lot about this, but I'm pretty sure that the whoever enforces code is going to come take a look at this, and they're going to make you take about the majority of these desks out of here, because if there's a fire, everybody's going to die in this room because there's only 2 exits.
I worked for a Japanese company one time in video games, and like the office we worked in was completely wide open. Like everybody, they wanted to have it like, from where the boss is in the same bullpen as the, entry level person, right? Like, so the entire massive office wide open, all the lights on, everything white, nothing on the walls, white floors, white desks, white chairs, white everything. And it was just like, it looked so institutionalized. But luckily I was like the content creator guy, so they put me in like a back closet kind of thing by myself, because I made a lot of noise, right? Like, I bothered people. So I was okay with that. Like, because, with what I did, I made a lot of noise. Right. But like, so I got lucky, but it was a strange environment. The whole, like, I don't know. It was different.
Yeah. Well, that's, the only time I've ever worked in an open floor plan type thing like that, where everybody was in the room, where I actually was kind of like, you know what, this isn't my thing, but I got mad respect for the cat at the top, was at Blur when they were in the
Venice office.
The Venice office, and I remember going in every day that I went in, and every day when I went in and I left, Tim was sitting right in the middle of the room in the worst seat in the place, busting his ass the entire time. I was like, you know what? That's pretty. That's.
Mm-hmm.
I got respect. I got nothing but respect for that. You know what I mean?
That's the way it was at Crafty forever, right?
That's this dude's company. He's owning it. He's working it like that, and that was the only place I was on site where I saw that kind of thing. Most of the other places where I ever worked on site, it was always just kind of like, there were just people that you were just cut off from all the time. And like in dailies, you were just like, know your role. If you spoke up, if you spoke up in dailies, even on your own shot and didn't get approval from your lead or whatever, like you get swatted down and that kind of stuff. Like there was no dialogue encouraged anywhere for the most part. And I always found that pretty irritating because it was just like, man, nobody knows this shot in and out better than I do. And I might be too close to it, but at least like, let's have a conversation. Let's have a dialogue about it because I might have some good ideas.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
If I don't, you're the soup. Tell me to shut up. Tell me that's not a good idea. And I'll, hey, you're the soup. I'm not here to argue, but sometimes, but I get it. I get why they did it. And things were always like, you get to a bigger, like factories type studio and you just can't have those discussions half the time because you'll get a line of Eastern European dudes out the door fighting for their shots.
I've always gotten lucky in those though.
Want to change the entire first act? You don't understand.
I can't. They don't invite me to those conversations because I can't hold my tongue, right? Like, because I've even told supervisors before, like, talking directly to a director and working through an issue of what they want to get accomplished, right? And coming to like a nice conclusion as to what they want, and then the supervisor jumping in and like trying to sprinkle some crack on it or something. I don't know, like throwing in some just rogue bullshit, right? That doesn't need to, like, we came to a conclusion. We don't need this extra from, like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, you're only causing more work for our side. Like, why don't you just shut up? Mm-hmm. And I've even had to say that in the meeting before, like, hey, like, no, like, you're good. You don't need to just pipe down. We got it sorted out.
Well, there's something, there's something that comes with experience too, where like, if you want to do an alt comp as a more experienced artist, you want to do an alt comp, how far you can push something and when it's appropriate to do that, as opposed to being like, this effect is established. There's a pretty big ripple effect. If I put this in front of somebody and they like it, it screws everything over. And like, I don't know, you know what I mean? How many times have you guys worked with somebody who like didn't understand that and they managed to get it past the gates, and now everybody's like, you got a Sonic the Hedgehog situation, which is a bad example because it needed to be redone, but same principle.
Yeah, how did that even get approved? I don't know. It bewilders me.
I don't know, man. I'll never get that.
And how much money did they spend to fix it?
Yeah. Oh.
And who got that bill?
I don't even know why they did. I wouldn't have fixed it.
Yeah,
right. Like you're already, you're at this point.
It's like, how does it affect your movie making money? If you keep it, everyone's still going to see because they want to see how jacked it is. And like, what are you fixing it for a bunch of adults who are into like some kid's video game? And if it's for kids, the kids don't give a shit. So like, who made the call to spend all that money to appease people who care as 40-year-olds? What Sonic looks like?
They folded. It just gave power to the online trolls of like,
Yeah. I would have been like, nope, it's
all
sweet.
the people that do fan fiction there, like Sonic and Mario fucking, and
they lost. When that happened, the first thing that came to my mind was the Bill Burr rant about McDonald's like extending the time they serve breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm still so, dude. Like, so like, you ever hear about how the fucking Super Size Me was complete bullshit? That guy
it was all lies.
Yeah, it was all lies.
Wait. What? Tell me about it.
He wasn't following the diet. He refused. I think the guy passed away, but he refused to reveal his food logs because he was full of shit. He wasn't actually following like that diet and doing that stuff.
He would drink every night. I think it was. He smoke and drink every night. It was all fabricated. It was just a big fabrication essentially, and it just fucking killed this whole thing of getting supersized meals. And
yes,
it was all bullshit. Like it was the guy, that dude, Burlark or whatever. He was a fucking fraud. That guy, like everything
Hey,
he did after that was.
I for one appreciated supersizing.
No, we lost the supersized Coke. We lost a
It was
bucket
all
of fries.
fake, though.
They
That was the
changed
thing.
like
It
they
doesn't
changed the
matter.
oil. They cooked it in. Like no, it's total bullshit.
It was
Total
propaganda.
bullshit.
That's the thing. It's like,
Yeah.
of course, dude. There's people that went back now and eat fucking McDonald's the entire fucking day, and they go and exercise like a normal person would do, like do walking or whatever, like he's supposed to do. People are fucking losing weight. They have better cholesterol. They're showing their food logs. Like the dude is
There's
like,
that dude that eats like a Big Mac every single day of his life, or whatever, and he's like a skinny dude.
You know the crazy thing about McDonald's meat? The meat that you get at McDonald's is on par, if not better, than most 4-star restaurants. The difference is the stuff that they put in it to make it shelf stable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sounds-
some Wagyu.
Dall's meat's pretty good.
It's really, it's like
Dude,
the
it's
best.
engineered. It's scientifically engineered for me to love it.
If you get the quarter pounder, it's never frozen, just like
Yeah.
the
You know how much science they put into that burger for me to love it?
No, I
appreciate the efforts.
I legitimately do not believe people.
Fries either.
Yeah,
They're fries
no, you
or-
can't.
Oh,
No, I
dude,
legitimately don't believe people when they tell me they don't like
Oh,
McDonald's. I think they're
one of the
lying
greatest,
to me.
one of the greatest
Yes,
additions
right, Mark?
to the
Yeah, like,
entire.
it's not real. Like,
One of the greatest additions to the entire Uber and Grubhub universe is the extra salt button on the fries at McDonald's.
oh, I didn't know that existed.
Yeah,
'Cause I don't like it when they deliver my Dons because they never keep it warm enough.
Oh man, just throw it in the, air fryer.
The
Throw 'em
fries,
in the air
the
fryer
fries
for a
are
second.
the best, and they have like
Yeah.
crazy, like stringent, like the amount of potatoes that just get chucked out and marked like not worthy to be McDonald's fries is like ridiculous.
I don't know,
And
man.
any sort of
I'm a
imperfection-
fan of some Bojangles fries. I don't know if you guys are fan or friends of the Bojangles, but
What are
Bojangles
you
fries-
talking about?
Is it those seasoned fries?
Oh god, they're so good. Yeah, but they're like hand cut potato, like seasoned,
dude.
yummy.
Like I even like In-N-Out fries are decent, but they're not anything near what McDonald's.
They're
McDonald's-
always
they just-
In-N-Out fries are soggy, and McDonald's and like when they're soggy, they're not as good as when they're crispy. But man,
And how
McDonald's
come-
fries are good, crispy or soggy.
How
Yeah.
come Arby's can't get their shit together? Why are they trying to
Dude.
like they got crinkle fries now, but why? Like they
Man.
got the curly fries. Like come on.
Arby's fries are not Arby's strong game. That's the
Look,
house,
man, the curly fries with a cup of cheddar ain't too bad.
they're the house that beef.
Ah.
built, all right.
Honestly, dude, I actually every
They're
time I
pretty
go to
good.
Arby's, only thing I eat there is their cordon bleu chicken sandwich.
Dude,
Pretty
it's
good.
so good.
Yeah,
I don't know,
Only thing
man.
got.
Just a classic roast beef sandwich is pretty
Mhm.
great.
I like that's my.
I think
bad.
a lot of people shit on Arby's too.
I like Arby's.
just
There's
'cause it
nothing
looks
wrong with
good.
Arby's. It's
Their
good.
French
fine.
dip. Hey, their
Yeah.
French dip's on point.
Oh, forget all about this.
Well, their horseradish their sauces are awesome too.
Yeah,
Their
right,
sauces are
right.
great.
Yeah,
So
the horsey
Arby's-
sauce with a little red sauce, and then dip it in the
Arby's-
meat sauce. Oh,
Arby's answer to Taco Bell's chili cheese burrito is the jalapeno poppers with the Bronco berry sauce.
Jalapeno pops are pretty good.
yeah, you can get mozzarella sticks there to go.
Basically,
Oh, so
just
good.
cherry. It's basically just cherry pie filling.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's, God, man.
I bought some of the. They actually sell the Arby sauce and horsey sauce at the grocery store now, and so I got some of those and just got some roast beef. And like, if you just get some roast beef from the grocery store, make yourself a sandwich and put that. There's nothing to the roast beef at Arby's that makes it special. It's just regular old roast beef. To me, it's the Arby's and the Arby sauce and the horsey sauce that make it.
Yeah. All right, I got an unpopular opinion for you. A hot
Uh-oh.
take. I do not, for the life of me, understand why anyone goes to McDonald's and orders a fucking chicken McNugget. I don't get it. They have the best hamburgers on the face of the fucking planet. The
Well,
double quarter
Chicken
pounder with
McNuggets
cheese.
are a side.
You know,
to me.
double quarter pounder with
Yeah.
cheese is it's a national wonder.
I agree.
That's
with
what
you.
it is.
I
And
agree with
people go there and they fucking order a chicken McNugget. I don't understand.
Dude,
Mark,
kids love 'em,
you
man.
have spent
Kids love 'em.
thousands of dollars on Falcons boxes, which have chicken nuggets on it.
I never ate them. I gave them to everyone else. They had Big Macs, and a Big
I
Mac,
always ate them.
a Big Mac is not as good as double quarter
No,
cheese, but it's
no.
right there under it. Right there under it.
No, they got the. I can't Thousand Island dressing. No, get out of here with that.
Yeah, I'm not.
Delicious.
I'm not a Big Mac fan. A quarter pounder all the way for me.
Yeah, double quarter pounder is. I agree. Is a. Although my second to the double quarter pounder is the slightly less known triple cheeseburger.
Oh yeah, the triple. It was like
The triple
double
cheeseburger
and
because
the
it's
triple.
juicier.
Yeah.
The patties are
The
different.
ratio
it's
seems
juicier.
seems weird on that.
It's got a really good ratio.
Because you both just said two different things.
Dude, it's like
Brandon
this much
vouched.
meat. It's
Brandon
crazy.
vouched for quarter pounder. You said double. Brandon, do you eat double or single?
What?
Or
I
quarter
usually
pounder.
I eat single.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
what a
I don't-
pussy!
Well, I don't like the balance
Well,
of the meat
also,
on the single.
Also, Brian, I don't have a
So I'm gonna go.
so-
I'm gonna go barrel right now. and take it back 1 second to the chicken McNuggets. I learned how to use chopsticks. in the year 1984 because McDonald's ran the sweet and sour sauce chicken McNugget dip as a promo for the 1984 Beijing Olympics.
That's good.
Since then, anytime I do get something at McDonald's, I'll always get some chicken nuggets with sweet and sour
Was
sauce.
it the Summer Olympics in 1984 in Los Angeles?
Was it? Maybe I'm thinking of the.
Beijing was a lot later.
It was in Los Angeles. Which year? It was in the 80s.
Hmm.
The only reason I know that because my mom had a Buick Skylark that was a 1984 limited edition, something to do with the 1984 Olympics. It was Los Angeles. I just know that.
Okay, let me see.
And she would always have the sticker on there. She's like, "Don't touch that sticker. That's gonna make this car."
It's like turning brown and curling up on the edges.
It was curling. I was like, "Mom, what's gonna happen here?"
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude.
Do they have every once in a while? They'll have spicy nuggets. The spicy nuggets are on point.
Natasha, so get this. So we would go. She loves, and don't you swear to God, Mark, if you hate on Natasha, I will drive with her and hurt you.
What are we talking about? What is her opinion?
She loves this. Is what she gets usually. She gets a 10-piece and then she'll get either 1 or 2 cheeseburgers, just normal little cheeseburgers. But you can hate on her later. But so at this one place, they would mix the I guess where they cook them in the same spot, right? The spicy and the regulars, right? So I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell, and she would taste it, and she's like, "These are spicy." And you could tell there's like a little bit of like black pepper or something in there. I was like, "Okay, there's a little bit of a spice." So I used to go around and go to another McDonald's and get these McNuggets for her because they weren't spicy. Dude, I was like, "This is I told her, I was like, this is love. This is what love is."
This is what love is.
I will venture out forth to find you these nuggets for you.
You know what ran through my head when you were saying that is merely the end of Stargate: Ark of Truth. When the Ori priest, he realizes he's wrong and he's like, "I was blind, but now I see." We merely need to get a double quarter pounder with cheese in front of that lady.
You know what? I don't think I honestly maybe have had a double quarter pounder once or twice. I need to go get one now.
They're so good.
The ratio is pretty
I spend
on
so
point.
much money there all the time. I have
With
the app. You get the points.
Do you put your French fries on the bottom or the top? Do you guys add French fries to your sandwich?
I have in the past. I don't anymore.
I haven't in a while, but I put them on the top. Well, it depends. If it has cheese, I put them on the bottom. Because
I put them on the bottom with 1 pack of ketchup. That's my go-to.
Dude, you are such a stoner. I love it.
I love it. It's so good.
Yeah. Zach, are you anti-Don's?
McDonald's?
Yeah.
No, not entirely.
No, he's American.
I don't eat it. I don't eat it too often. I have it every once in a while.
like
but
a master chef. So.
Yeah, I don't. Honestly, man, I'm more like I am inherently more of a Taco Bell guy. And for the
Cholito,
reason,
I can't ever find a Cholito.
Yeah, for one reason, because they don't exist. Because they don't exist where you live into the West.
There's a divide.
You know what, guys? I'll just sign off right now.
Wait. I'm putting it up in the chat. There's a chili cheese burrito map.
Dude, the chili cheese burrito is like one of the best things ever.
That's awesome.
And they would always break in the bottom, and you get it everywhere in a wrap, and you have to scoop it up with your hands.
Here, I put it in the chat. Look at this map, and then laugh again. It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't.
I won't.
You can't get it. You can't get it.
Oh, there's one spot. Wait, there's one spot in California.
But you know what?
There's one out.
Yeah, it's up.
Bishop.
Yeah, and they don't. You know what? It's in Bishop, and they don't serve the chili cheese burrito. They don't.
Oh shit! They got one in Fort Smith. 2, 3 in Fort Smith, where I'm from, in Arkansas.
Yeah. So we went. I remember we went in Vegas when we still lived in California. We went to Vegas, and they opened up the Taco Bell flagship store. And I was like, my wife and I were like all hype. We were like, "Fuck yeah, about to get a chili cheese burrito, man! I'm gonna have 3, right? Like." It's time.
You had your No Caro Taco Bell shirt on.
Yeah, get our collective fat kid on. Let's do this.
Just get ready to.
And we went in there, and I was like, you guys have the chili cheese burrito, right? Like this is the flagship store, and the person working at the register was like, the what?
The what?
And I was just like,
yeah, looking at you like you're the asshole.
Yeah, like
I'm about to get, fuck you, man.
I'm about to get thrown out of the Taco Bell flagship store.
Cholitos,
when I would go, every time I made the drive like to Colorado when I lived in California, or like back to Minnesota or anything like that, the minute I would hit, it's before Grand Junction, there's a Taco Bell right off the side of the freeway, and I would hit that Taco Bell and get a chili cheese burrito and just like send the picture out to everybody I knew, like, it's happening right now.
Dude, you gotta do it to me.
I can just see your reaction though when they tell you no, and you just like spin around 180 and throw your arms in the air.
It was like the SNL skit with Chris Farley where they switch his decaf with flavor crystals or whatever the thing was.
Decaffeinated coffee crystals? So good. So good.
Like he just the curtain just comes down. Yeah, son of a bitch. Turns beet red.
Well, that's the thing. You got to learn to sweet talk them, man, because there's no way they don't have the ingredients back there to make it.
Well, that's not true because it comes those ingredients. Well, at least
give me a can of wolf chili.
I worked at a Taco Bell. I worked at a Taco Bell when I was 16.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And the chili cheese at the time, the chili cheese sauce packets came in specific chili cheese sauce packets. Like the meat for everything, all the ingredients come specific. At least back then, came specific to whatever you were doing. And the cool thing about that place, I have to say, was there wasn't really any grills at the time. I think there is now, but
you just opened up
and everything.
You just squeezed the meat out of a pack.
No, everything was cooked sous vide. They came in sous vide bags, and so like the chicken, the beef, the steak, everything was all cooked.
Boiled.
Yeah, it was boiled in circulated water tanks. But so like things like the chili cheese burrito sauce, it would come in a bag. You would mix it. And sorry if hopefully the Taco Bell police don't come in and bust me for leaking trade secrets here. But stuff like the chili cheese burrito sauce would come in a packet. You'd add a certain amount of water, put it in a proofer, and then let it sit. And like I remember the first time I had one, I was like, "Oh my god, man! It's like God just shit in my mouth." Like this is amazing.
I was like, this is the Christian God shitting right in my mouth. And amen.
There was a McDonald's right down the road, and we started like, man, we got crazy. We do these awesome like chicken rice burritos. Like we do like the chicken burrito supreme essentially, and then get the McDonald's barbecue sauce and French fries and put those in with the burrito. And man, try it sometime.
Wow!
And tell me if it don't fuck you up. Like
that's actually pretty awesome.
It does sound pretty awesome.
We got
though. You got 2 different restaurants you go stop at.
Yeah. So, well, it reminds me of a recipe I brew up every now and then in my Instapot. So I love you get the microwavable burritos at the freezer like Kroger or Safeway.
Yeah.
So I get my Instapot and I take canned chili and I fill it up and then I put all my frozen burritos in there and I just like boom hit it, and so they come out like cooked, covered in chili, and all like awesome and nice. Sit there and gobble them all up.
Oh man,
yeah,
dude, the Instapot is fucking amazing, right?
Yeah,
that'd be good to do with like tamales.
That's kind of fancy.
Like I'm sorry, but I love the fucking canned tamales. I don't know why, like Hormel canned tamales are pretty damn good.
Never had one.
I after having good tamales out from a tamale lady,
they're not.
LA,
they're
it's hard.
Tamale lady.
Good tamales are hard to find. Yes, they are.
You're right,
a thing of beauty.
Ryan, you're absolutely right. They are fucking hard to find.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like,
If you can't,
if I can find canned ones, hey, cool, I'll do that too.
Interesting. I never had canned tamales.
Oh man,
they're not.
Yeah,
they're
Hormel
not
canned
bad.
tamales, man. They're pretty damn good.
There are
They're not dry.
There are certain types of Mexican food that you get in LA and you're like, this is what they're talking about.
I get it.
Like,
you're right.
Okay, now I understand. Because for me, unpopular opinion, and people are gonna hate me for this one.
Del Taco, it's coming.
No. Mexican food at its core is like 5 ingredients. It's the same thing through and through and through. And everywhere you go, I can't tell you the amount of times somebody's been like, you don't understand. You have to come to this Mexican place with me. You just haven't had the good stuff. You got to come here. This is the best, and I eat it. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it tastes like Mexican food.
It tastes like
the same thing everywhere I go. Like, oh, no. We got to get you the margarita. I'm like, yeah, tastes
you haven't
like
Tex-Mex
tastes like sugar and tequila to me. Like,
but damn it, that fish taco from Taqueria del Sol in Atlanta is just
no mas.
Yeah, there are places where you get good, where there's good stuff. Like there was
good tequila.
Yeah. I hated mole. I hated mole until I had it at the place Talapazola.
So you had like good mole
right across from Blur in Venice. There's a place called Talapazola that had mole where I was like, wow, I actually like
Well, and
this.
that place didn't serve mole all the time. That's the places that you want to go, right? Because they would have mole like once or twice a month.
Right, they'd only serve it when they could get the right stuff for it. But there was a little restaurant. Sorry, there was a little restaurant / meat market called Don Felix there in Culver City that I used to get like this marinated chicken and marinated steak from, and then they had this green tomatilla salsa that was like, nothing like it anywhere. I haven't been able to find it, and it's funny because I come here to Colorado and everybody's like, "Man, we got the best Mexican food." I'm like, "Okay,
man."
I mean, no.
Yeah, what's funny about that is Tex-Mex is my favorite food in the world, specifically Tex-Mex, because I really like
Tex-Mex is a whole different thing.
Yeah, I'm really into the sour cream and like all that. I'm not really into like the cilantro and like I like this exactly Tex-Mex, but I actually like it even if it's shitty or good, like straight up. Like I just love it. I'll eat all of it.
Oh, dude, Chuy's. If you know Chuy's is a chain, Chuy's is good.
Certain things like the shittier the better, right?
Yeah. Well, because I'm obsessed with spicy food. Like I buy the hottest hot sauce I can get, like Dave's and Sandy sauce. I cover my food in it. Like every meal I cover it in. And so basically,
you're a masochist.
Yeah, I cover all my food in it. So basically, all I really eat is just super hot, no matter what the delivery device is. Yeah. Like doesn't really matter.
Have you taken the one chip challenge? Have you done that? The one.
I bought it. Yeah, it sucks. It's weak, dude. I've gone back. I've gone back to back. Go scorpion pepper, just like eating them as a challenge. Yeah. Robin actually is the one that got them for me.
Yeah, those packing things were really. I was disappointed. I was like, this is really that hot.
Yeah, this wasn't that bad.
I remember going to Jetlada in LA and signing the waiver and just being like, this isn't this. I've had way hotter stuff.
Dude, I had a chef like worked at this restaurant, or a chef, but there was this lady in the back, and they called her Mama, right? Like, and she's an old lady that she did all the prep in the morning for everything, and then she was gone by like 10 or 11 o'clock because she just prepped everything. Mm-hmm. But everybody kept telling me about, you need to try Mama's wings. You need to try Mama's wings. They're the best. And so one day I told her, and she was like, "What, do you like them hot?" And I was like, "Mama, you can't make them hot enough." And she like looked at me, or whatever. Mm. This lady made wings hot enough that I never got like super hot wings ever again in a day of my life since then.
Yeah.
Like it was unenjoyable. Like, one of those like where it was so hot that I can't even taste the meat anymore. Like it was, I'm sweating. I'm not having a good time. This is not fun.
Yeah. No,
Brandon, where was that place in Little Tokyo that we went, where I did the
ramen challenge?
That ramen challenge. And
it started with an O. Usana or something like that.
I don't.
I saw it on Man vs. Food.
Yeah,
as well. He did it.
That's right. Yeah,
dude, they wear a gas mask.
They wear the gas mask, and the dude's back there with the gas mask, like staring me down, like, "Yeah, I got your numbers." And the heat. Yeah. The thing was what got me with that, and I almost finished. I think I was like 4 minutes over. The thing that got me was that it was temperature-wise. They brought it out, and it was still boiling. Hot. And so I couldn't.
And there was like, dude, it was like the noodles were nothing. All that stuff was nothing. It was like you got to the broth. Really
that broth
fast.
is probably steaming hot. Yeah.
Was it timed?
Yeah. It was like 20 minutes, and the broth was so hot.
Yeah, so they cheated.
So I couldn't scald it. The guy looked at me. He took like one look. I'm like, oh no, we can't beat this. I was like, give me a double. Yeah, I was like, give me a double serving and give me 10 minutes.
Dude, I've gone down the YouTube hole of like this. I've got this new guy, Beard Meets Food or whatever.
Yes, dude, he's awesome.
Have you seen? I love that guy. Little
British guy. Yeah, Beard's awesome. Beard's awesome. He crushes food.
Dude, he does. He just kills everything he touches.
Yeah. He called you out once, Daniel.
Did he?
He called Daniel Jackson out once. He goes, I saw him in Atlanta. I'm gonna come down and just
I'm scared of the Beard, dude. Have you guys seen it when he brings on the Miss Beard?
Yeah.
His wife? Yeah. I like
how his sister, he brings on his sister, and his sister just sits there and gets drunk off to the side and talks shit.
Or-a-chan. That was the name.
Or-a-chan, yeah.
Yeah. So, dude, I've gotten owned twice in my life talking shit about hot food. One of them, I was in Seattle and I was pretty drunk. We were there for like the Seahawks playoff game, and I walked into some restaurant, no idea where it was, and I started talking shit to the chef. I'm like, "You can't make food hot enough for me." And I still to this day have no idea what this guy did to that burrito. maybe he took a shit in this burrito, but I remember eating it, and only time I was dying. I'm like, I can't. And I was like, kept trying to finish it because I want to be a pussy. And I couldn't. I was like, and you're drunk too, so you don't feel as much,
Right.
The other time, and this is weird because I've eaten them again and it hasn't happened, but my Aunt Virginia, I was just like, well, whatever, you can't make hot food. And she just got like a fresh, not a jalapeno, but what's the orange one? Habanero. She brought a fresh habanero from the store. She's like, eat this. And I'm just like, okay. And I ate a fresh one and it killed me.
Yeah, dude.
But I was just like confused because I eat them now all the time. So like, what is it about that one that just destroyed me?
We got you in the boo-boo.
They might have been grown. It could be the soil. It could be the.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe they were also grown next to something a lot hotter as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was Southern California, so like I don't know where that's where they grow the good stuff.
That was actually something that I was going to bring up because Brandon was just down there. And I was going to say, like, on the topic of like people here in the States being like, you don't know what good Mexican food is. It's always kind of made me laugh because if you've had Mexican food in Mexico or in South America, for that matter, anywhere, like you realize that there it is so much better than anywhere you'll have it here.
Dude, the tacos we had there were just like...
For the simple reason is that their food is grown locally and it is allowed to ripen. All the ingredients are allowed to ripen. They're not shipped across the border before they're ripe to be served here. That's our food tastes like shit in the States.
Brazil's the same way, man.
Compared to the
meat in Brazil, is there something... Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
So Zach, I think you're completely right, but I come at it from a completely different angle. When I went to Mexico, I was pissed because I was like, I was like, I hate this taco. I hate it. And someone looked at me and they're like, oh, you like Tex-Mex? I'm like, I guess I do because I want an American taco right now that tastes like shit. It got sour cream and cheese.
You like the ground beef that rolls out of the shell.
Yeah.
I love ground beef. Yeah, I was like, so yeah.
Yeah, I want ground beef's been cooking for like 3 days.
I was like, this tastes way too good and clean. Like, what the hell? Like, cilantro is not an actual thing. Like, no.
Sure.
This tastes fresh.
I mean,
my body's kicking it back.
Even going like further south, like you go to like Costa Rica and you get like, just as an example, like fruit in Costa Rica, like you have like some pineapple, and it's like if you've never been out of the States, you've never tasted pineapple.
Oh, interesting.
Truly, like it does not, because when they ship it to the mainland, or like I guess Hawaii is an exception, but if it doesn't ripen. It's not allowed to ripen because it would just never survive on the shelf here.
Yeah.
You know how to tell if a pineapple's ripe?
Eat it.
You hit it, right?
No. You smell the butt of it, like the bottom of it where it was pulled off the stout.
Yeah.
And if it smells like a pineapple, then it's ready to eat.
It's ready, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, otherwise, like if it's not ready, it doesn't smell.
Then you fuck it. Then you see
you cut a hole in it first, and then you grapefruit the shit out of it.
You come in it a few times, you let it set in the sun.
Real ripe pineapple, man, there's nothing like it. And if you eat enough of it, your pee smells nice and sweet like pineapple too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the only thing obviously I don't have a very refined palate. I think that's obvious. The only thing I've really noticed though is like in like, you know, organic food and whatnot is me and my wife, we bought like a cow because we eat a shit ton of beef. And it was like
a whole cow?
We bought a whole cow from a farmer down in Georgia, like in rural Georgia. And it was like, he was like, I don't even grain finish. I don't even use fertilizer. Everything's as natural as you can be. And it's super lean. And I will say that beef was the best beef I've cooked personally, like me cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
I bet.
Yep. We do the same thing, man. We just get from.
I don't feel well. You got to buy a new freezer for that.
Yeah. You got to have a second freezer.
Yeah, we did. Well, I've actually been on a hilarious diet recently. I lost like 20 pounds, and all I'm eating is fruit, vegetables, and I eat tons of sardines and mackerel, canned fish. I just hammer it. I don't eat too much because the mercury, the tuna, I don't mix it in that much.
Heavy metals, man.
Well, luckily those are smaller fish. They don't carry as much, but I love sardines. I just like sit there and eat them in my house.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
We had a thing of sardines.
Oh, there we go.
We had a thing of sardines in the cabinet for years.
Yeah, I love fish.
On that.
Hot tour.
Hawk Tour lost her job. I heard
what?
at the Spring Factory. The Spring Factory fired Hawk Tour.
What? I actually had to read about that. She gave like an interview that's funny where she did that, right? With
she said, "What's something you can do to a man that drives him crazy?" He's like, "You gotta spit on that thing, like Hawk Tour." And so that's she became the Hawk Tour girl, and apparently she got on stage with like one of the big country artists not too long ago, and then he got just tons and tons of backlash and hate from all like his conservative crowd going like, I don't really think this is what we should be celebrating.
Why did she get fired?
Just the blowjob girl. I don't know. Maybe the Spring Factory doesn't stand behind that type of behavior.
Yeah, she made some good money though, apparently, off of her thing.
No, apparently she hasn't. Like that's what she put out a video. I saw a thing like not too long ago on the news that was like her in some TikTok video. I guess she just created a social media account. She hasn't ever had a social media account, and she the first thing she posted was like, everything you're seeing for sale, anything that like I'm not getting a dime, and I get from any of it. And then like in part of that thing, it showed that I guess she right after that had her very first like public appearance that she was like paid for or whatever. So it was like at a bar. She showed up at a bar and like some of those kind of things.
On one hand, I don't feel sorry for her, and on the other hand, I feel sorry for her because like she obviously was like drunk when she said it.
Yeah, it's
and like
around.
that's gonna fuck up her life.
And it's like nothing.
Hey,
really
but is
that
it though?
bad.
Like she's getting opportunities now that she never would have gotten at the Spring Factory back in
Hey, my kid is up and sick. My wife's calling me.
Yeah.
Do you think, brother?
I'll be back.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it depends on how she manages it. What's his name? Antoine Dodson. I don't know if you guys
hide
remember
your
him.
children, hide your wives.
Yeah, hide your wives. He had kind of a meteoric rise from his little video. It was it was a slightly different subject matter.
Yeah.
but he did pretty well for himself, considering.
Dude, she could do great on Cameo.
She's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about doing left too, I think.
Is she? Because I saw something like the internet. Everybody on the internet was like bugging her like right away for it. And I was like, oh God, come on, everybody. We just collectively as a society we could do better, please.
Yeah, for real. Like this is the news cycle right now. Is the Hawk Tua girl?
Except on the flip side of that coin, well, the same side really. She's famous for talking about how she gives a blowjob. So she's kind of did it to herself, right? But yeah, man, I don't know. The whole thing, like, it was funny. I was laughing at all the memes, and at the same time, I was just like bummed out. I was like sad because everybody's just so gross about it.
Oh, the internet went crazy with it. I loved it. Yeah, it was great.
The internet has zero humanity.
Yeah, it does. It does, and it's a beautiful thing sometimes.
Absolutely. Dude, some of the memes, there was some, so they did like a Disturbed video with the and they cut in the Hawk Tua in there. Oh my God, man. There was so many good like little memes like that came out. I was just like,
people are brilliant, man. I don't know why we use our brilliance for these things, but this is what we do. This is where our brilliance shines. TikTok videos and
late stage society, the Roman Empire. We're here, man.
You think so? Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to think that we aren't, but certain aspects say otherwise.
Hide your wife. Hide your kids.
Hide children. They're out here raping everybody.
They're out here raping everybody. Oh,
it's all bananas.
Yeah, just in the immortal words of Gwen Stefani. It's BANANAS bananas.
Yeah. Dude, there was a GIF. There was a GIF of that, with firing a banana out of a tailpipe into somebody else's face. And
I haven't seen that one, but it sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'll dig it. It was on YMNTD. You remember that old?
Dude, yeah.
Trope? I used to have it bookmarked.
That was an old and E-Bombs.
Man,
whatever happened to E-Bombs World?
It's probably still around.
They have an account on TikTok. I don't know if it's them, but it's not anything good. Not like man, back then though, like anything that's even remotely like meh now would have been like whoa back then, right?
Oh wow, E-Bombs World is still here, but it's like wow.
What about the Darwin Awards? They still do the Darwin Awards?
Damn, they got current stuff. Who, E-Bombs World?
No, but like remember they used to have the Darwin Awards. You don't remember that? It was like the stupidest people of the year that killed themselves somehow or died.
I never considered those actual awards. I always just considered that like you'd see a picture on the internet. It was like, does this win the Darwin Award? Like,
well, I guess the Florida Man Twitter kind of took that out.
Oh yeah.
Florida man, yeah.
The Florida Man Twitter is one of the greatest Twitter handles. Florida Man and Florida Woman. They kind of compete with each other, but that's one of the greatest Twitter handles there is.
Natasha called me Florida Man the other day.
Oh yeah,
was that a compliment?
Were you wearing jorts?
Or was she...
No, I don't know. I forget why she called me though. I said something to her. She's like, "Well, you're Florida Man, basically," and I was like, "Fuck you." Yeah.
Oh wow, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
you had a Garth Brooks shirt on at the time.
Are you guys talking? Are you guys talking again? Or?
Yeah. So
you know what?
How's she living life on the streets?
Yeah, exactly. I told her you could get the papers ready. I'm outta here.
You were this close. You were almost.
She's living in the underground tunnel.
I would be the
in
one
Vegas
living on the streets. She'd be.
Well, at least you got that nice tunnel system there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a whole city over there, right? The tunnel people. You ever see the
washed
tunnel
out,
people?
Though. They die.
Every time it rains, they get a new crop of them.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's pretty wild down there.
Yeah, I've seen some online things about it. It seems.
I remember in the '90s, like the new strip was fairly new, and those tunnels were just starting. Like they had a bunch of them built, but they were like constructing new ones. And I was just out, like I was too young to be in the casinos, and somebody was like, "Hey, you want to come to Vegas with us?" And I was like, "Sure, duh," like. I'll go. And I just got out like wandering around like an idiot, like a teenager, just an idiot. And I came across those and I like heard some people talking. And so I kind of poked my head around the corner.
Hey,
I got close enough to like realize like where the voices were coming from. And I was like, oh, never mind. Okay. Sorry. Thought I recognized one of you guys. And they were
you're pooping.
They were all just looking at me like, you do not recognize any of our voices. You look like you've showered in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. Don't belong here, boy.
6 months. Get out of here.
No seats here.
Yeah, it was sketchy.
No, I can imagine. Well, at least, if you're going to be homeless in Vegas, I guess it's a better place to be than on top of the ground.
Yeah. I worry about Brandon, when the AI comes through and wipes out society, all the mole people are going to take over out there. I have to come rescue them.
You got to worry about the mole people.
I mean, there's so much wild stuff. Like, you ever zoom around on Google Maps and have like the 3D Earth thing turned on and go like northwest of Vegas just a little bit and look at all the bomb holes?
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's where they tested all the nuclear weapons ever.
Yeah, they used to have little cafes, like rooftop cafes, where you could just watch the explosions happen before they had it all figured out that it was like cooking everybody like hamburger.
Probably not good.
It was a short-lived thing, but they had like the atomic
that would be
cafe.
pretty cool, though. I would say that'd be a good first date.
Totally. We saw sparks fly.
Want to go see a nuclear explosion?
Yeah. I mean, it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome to see. I feel like that's the kind of thing seeing it in real life would like leave you with such a pit in your stomach.
Yeah.
Seeing something like that, you'd just be like, oh,
feeling it, feeling the
heat or the getting a really sharp fall off tan on anything facing it.
I don't know. It ends up being something like Oppenheimer, and it's just kind of anticlimactic.
I don't know. Maybe I feel like it's something that would stick with you.
A little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I knew a guy. I shouldn't say I knew him. Like, we encountered him from time to time. He did woodworking, and we'd have him do like if we had a piece that we needed like made for a table or something like that. He would make the piece. Really nice little wood shop at his house, and he was an older guy, but he was there on Japtan in the 30s, I want to say. I'm probably wrong on whatever year it was, but they were doing bomb tests on Japtan in the South Pacific, and he was like, we'd go and stock the island with a whole bunch, like he would tell the story and get in like a loop, and after like the third time we'd have to like signal to his wife like, hey, cut him off. But he would tell us, like, I remember the story, we heard it enough times. He would so this isn't my story to tell, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. He was like, we stock the island with all sorts of stuff: pigs, cows, chickens, sheep, like you name it, like anything we could fit on the island, we would do it. And we'd go back to the boat, hit the button, blow up the bomb, wait for everything to clear, and then go back to the island, cut everything open, and see like what the bomb was doing to the animals. And he was like, every single time, every last one of them, cooked hamburger through to the core. And he was like, and then I started to have to need blood transfusions, and we knew something was wrong because everybody that was going back and forth to the island started needing blood transfusions. We realized we were getting radiation sickness. Blah blah blah. It was just like the government knew, man. They were fucking testing on you guys. Jeez, man. And so, but he had like, dude, he was legit, man. He had this big, gigantic, like poster-sized picture of this South Pacific island with a gigantic mushroom cloud coming up.
Wow.
It was like black and white photo, and he's like, I took that picture off the bow of the boat. And I was like,
Jesus, I can imagine with being on a boat and that happening and catching the wave of that.
I mean, yeah, it was. I asked him, I was like, did it cause any like tidal wave? And it was like, nah, if it was detonated on the island, so it didn't. Like we felt we'd kind of feel the shock wave and feel the blast, but he was like, we were far enough away where the island was just a little dot on the horizon, but the mushroom cloud, he said, went way up. He's like, you could have seen it. You could have sailed that boat away for a day and a half and seen it still on the horizon.
Wipe some of those islands off the map.
Well, that's what I wonder. I wondered how many of those little islands just don't even exist anymore because of that. Like how many of them were like on the surface and then they're now 10, 20 feet below. Just
an atoll. They've turned them into an atoll.
Right. Just blown off. Yeah. The map to dry land needs some updating.
I think that's right. Is that right? With the little round islands and then an atoll?
Mm-hmm.
I pulled that out of some bag of tricks from back in the day, I think.
From Waterworld.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Yeah.
That's the first place I ever heard that word was on the Waterworld pinball game.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Waterworld pinball game. I bet that was pretty good though. I bet it was better than the movie.
No way, man. Say what you will. I love that movie.
Movie's great.
Well, gentlemen, we've gotten to the end of the show once again. And I appreciate our guest tonight. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Welcome back anytime.
You guys ever want to talk about bad food? I'm here.
I mean, that's pretty much the gist of what we talk about. We talk about just about like 10% visual effects, a lot about bad food, and then we sprinkle in a little bit of pocket Constitution. There it is. It's always going to make an appearance. Well, all right, guys. We'll catch up with you next week, and I don't know. Peace out.
See you, boys.